Hey, what's up you guys? It's Travis and today we're going to talk about how to become a model. I modeled for about 3 years. I was based out of New York City as a fashion model. I traveled to London, Paris, Milan, Athens, and I modeled for about 3 years, working for various designers from Dior, Dolce & Gabbana, to Giorgio Armani, Jean Paul Gaultier, Versace. I did a whole video talking about my experience being a model, where you guys can see the truth of what it's actually like being a male model. If you want to check out that video, you can check it out up above here. I'm not really sure exactly where it's going to pop up. Click on the link and you can check out my experience of being a model and why I eventually left, because modeling for me was a positive experience in some ways, but it also had a lot of negative experiences attached to that as well. I think it's important to know what the reality of being a model is before you start pursuing a career in modeling, because I wasn't aware of these things before I started modeling and I may not have done it had I known the truth about what it was actually like being a model. But either way, this video is about how to become a model, because since I posted that video, surprisingly, a lot of people have still messaged me all the time asking me how exactly to become a model. And I know that there are a lot of different strategies out there that aren't very legitimate. A lot of people will take your money because they want to bank off of your dreams, and there are lots of scams out there. So I decided to do this video because I just want to clear the air, because it's actually very simple to become a model. There's only a few steps involved. I wanted to share those with you guys today, so let's get started. I think the first thing you want to tackle when you're deciding whether or not to be a model is to decide what kind of model you can actually be. There are two different kinds of models. There's the commercial model, and then there is a fashion model. The high fashion model is a much harder model to become, because that's the one where you have the height and weight requirements. The height requirement for guys is between 6 foot to 6'2", and the height requirement for girls is between 5'9" to 5'11". You also have to be relatively slim, because a lot of your modeling happens in Europe, and a lot of the European clothes are very slim fitting, and so you have to fit the clothes. Apart from just the height and weight requirements, you also have to have a certain look to be a model as well. It doesn't necessarily mean they're absolutely beautiful. They can sometimes just have a very different look. As a fashion model, they just want something that looks different. Now, commercial modeling is different in that sense because that's the more relatable kind of model. That's the one that's kind of open to anybody. If you have a great smile, if you have a friendly, approachable face, you can probably be a commercial model. Commercial models are generally selling products. And so when you see the girl that's holding the tube of toothpaste with a big smile on her face saying, "Buy this toothpaste," that's commercial modeling. There's a lot more money in commercial modeling than there is in fashion. Fashion models do not get paid very much. Again, I addressed this in the video that talks about what it was like being a fashion model. And so commercial modeling is a very different approach to modeling. It's a very different kind of model entirely. I don't want to make this video too murky with trying to address both. So if you guys want me to do a video about how to become a commercial model, let me know down below. But for now, we're going to focus on being a fashion model because that's what I did. So for being a fashion model, the first thing you need to do is be realistic. Not everyone can be a fashion model. It's a lot harder to be a fashion model because, again, you have the height requirement, you have the weight requirement, and you have to have a certain look. Once you've met the height and weight requirements, you need to be realistic about your look. And I'm not saying ask your mother. It's important that you don't ask your mother or your father or your grandmother if you look like you should be a model, because they're probably going to say yes, and you might be sorely disappointed when you go out to the real world and find out that you don't actually have the look of a fashion model. Find someone other than your close family or friends to tell you whether or not you should be a model. That's going to be very important for adjusting your expectations when you pursue the fashion world. So once you've decided what kind of model you want to be, and if you have what it takes to be that kind of model, you're going to want to take some pictures with a photographer. Now, if you live in Los Angeles or New York City, photographers are a dime a dozen. It's very easy to find photographers in either one of these cities, but if you live somewhere else, like Iowa or Texas, it's a little harder to find a good photographer that's right for you. Finding a photographer can be very challenging because there are lots of people that claim to be really good photographers, and then you see their work and you realize that they just kind of grab a camera and they don't really have any idea what they're doing. When you're doing a photo shoot to try and be a model and try and get exposure to start your modeling career, you want to make sure that they're very simple photos. This is probably the biggest mistake I've seen people make when they're trying to become a model, is they go all out wearing like tons of makeup, doing their hair in some crazy way, greasing their hair up if you're a guy, or just dressing up in some really odd clothes. I am very guilty of this. I'll put some photos up here to show you just how guilty of this I am, because before I became a model as well, I thought that's what it took to become a model, and that is not the case whatsoever. If you want to be a fashion model, natural beauty is exactly what they're looking for. You want to look as plain and dressed down as possible because they want to see you as a blank canvas. Make sure you have good lighting, make sure it's a very simple setting, and make sure that you look as simple as possible. You should be able to actually wake up looking like this, because that's kind of what they're looking looking for in the fashion world. Don't face tune it within an inch of its life, because the agents will know when they finally meet you and they're going to be disappointed, and you will be disappointed when they turn you away. You want a good photographer for this because you want to get your best angles. You want to look your very best, and some photographers know exactly how to capture that. You should only be spending $200 to $300 max to take these photos with a photographer. This is the only part of becoming a model where you should be spending any money, because no one should be taking your money to help you become a model. If they are taking your money to promote you to agencies, then you are being scammed. Do not waste your money on that. The next very important part of becoming a model that will not only help you become a model, but will also help you become a successful model, is building a strong network. Anyone that has had any success in any industry will tell you that it's who you know that will help you get to where you want to be. I've never really been strong at networking, especially if it's forced networking, but I can tell you that as a model, most of my jobs came from personal relations that I built with people on sets. So whether it was the makeup artist, hairstylist, casting director, or the photographer themselves, they seemed to know someone else and would always connect me with other people that would help me get more jobs. The same applies to becoming a model in the first place. You need to meet people, go out there, connect with people, and find personal relationships with those people, because they are more likely to help you if they have a personal connection to you. Now, to build a network, that can be challenging if you don't have the right resources. Back in the day when I was modeling, I didn't have the same resources that I have today, but one of the resources that I'm talking about is an app called Shaper. Shaper is the sponsor of this video. Basically, what Shaper is an app that helps you build relationships with people that share the same interests as you do. With Shaper, all you do is create a profile, you answer a few questions about what your passions are, what your interests are career-wise, and once you do that, it connects you with other people that have similar interests as you. It functions similarly to LinkedIn meets Tinder, because it's a very professional app. There's no dating aspect of it. It's just to connect with people that have the same interests as you do in the industry that you're trying to work in. The reason it's similar to Tinder is because you can swipe left or swipe right to people that it matches you up with, which then gives you the opportunity to decide whether or not this is a relationship that you want to build. And so if you're looking for, say, a photographer to take your pictures, you can put photography as one of your interests on the app, and then it'll connect you with photographers that have similar interests to maybe building their books. They're willing to do a free photo shoot for you if you're willing to model for them as well. If you guys want to check out Shaper, you can do so down below. Download the app, try it out, because it's free to download, it's free to check out. But either way, use your resources to build a network, because having a strong network is going to help you so much in the long run. So once you've decided that you have what it takes to become a model, and you also have the photos to show that you can be a model, you want to submit those photos to an agency. Today you have things like Instagram, which allow you to do submissions, and you can just submit your photos through Instagram to agencies that will then tell you whether or not you have the look that's right for them. Agencies get tons and tons of submissions every single day. And so if you don't get a response from someone, don't take it personal. It's because they get so many responses, they can probably only respond to the people that they feel really strongly about. If you get rejected, that's part of the industry. Get used to that. That is what it takes to become a model. You need to really embrace rejection, because you will get rejected plenty of times. So if you don't hear back from an agency once you submit to them, submit again in a few weeks. Take some new photos. Keep trying. If you feel like you have what it takes, if you believe in yourself, if you keep submitting, eventually you're going to get some sort of response. And even if the agency says no, then there are still many agencies out there that may feel differently. I was rejected by 19 different agencies before I was finally represented by one, and so I'm definitely a testament to being persistent regardless of how many times I was told no. The last thing that I want to say about this is when you're submitting to agencies, make sure you're submitting to actual agencies and not to talent promoting companies that want to take your money. I'm going to list in the description section below a list of agencies that I know are legitimate, so that you guys can know exactly where you need to be submitting your photos to try and get representation. Do not submit to people who want to charge you to become a model. I will put as many agencies down below as I can. If you guys know of any other reputable agencies as well, let me know in the comment section below, and I will put that in the description section, because I want this to help you guys as much as possible. A lot of you are always asking how to become a model, and this is the best knowledge that I have to offer to you. So if you guys have any questions about how to become a model that I missed in this video, let me know down below. Of course, leave a comment, and then maybe I'll do a Q&A about this later, but I guess that's all I have for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.